So we have a very special final guest on Talking Nachos here. I'm going to bring him up here in a minute. We have Rodney. Well, Rodney is a non-dentist. He's a normal person. Okay, he's a normal person, but he goes to the dentist. I want Rodney to share with us this awesome, poignant, feel-good, but scary story. So Rodney, I'm so glad you be here today. Listen to this story. We can save people's lives, make people feel better, do what we want to do. But Rodney, I'll let you take it away.
All right, thank you. Thank you so much. Thanks for having me on here. So yeah, I'll just get right into it, and then the aha will come through. I try to stay healthy. I've always been considered pretty active. Over the years, I work full-time job, but on the side, I was teaching fitness classes. I was a step instructor, kickboxer, weight trainer, spinning class. I did all that stuff, and went to my physicals. I did go to went to my dentist every 6 months. Always stayed on it. But kind of just trying to stay as healthy as I can. That was my thing, and I had my same dentist for over 20 years, and it was a family practice. And when I was in high school and then went to college, and I would schedule everything, so I was always going in, and they retired and sold everything. And they said, oh, here's this new dentist, and she's doing all these new things and all this stuff. So I'm looking at the paperwork they sent, and I said, oh, maybe I should just go to a dentist closer to my home instead of having to drive 30 minutes. And no, I stayed with Dr. Malapetti and went in for my first appointment and sat down in the chair, and we do our thing. And next thing you know, she puts this cover on my, and I'm like, what's that for? She says, we do blood pressures. We test blood pressures before every appointment. And I was like, okay. So mine came up like about 80 over 95 over 60. And she was like, is that normal for you? I said, yeah, I'm pretty low, the blood pressure. And we went on every 6 months, do my thing.
And I want to just pause for a minute because it's just so great that your dentist was committed to screening and doing this, because it's not easy to put this into your systems. Most of the time you're finding normal things, but you're on guard, aware for challenges. So I'll let you continue, but you had the healthiest of blood pressure, fitness instructor. So what happens next?
And so probably about in 2017, I started having these weird episodes, I guess, for lack of a better term. And so I was walking my dog out at this little trail, and it was uphill. And all of a sudden, I just started feeling these weird sensation on the left side. I know saying it now, it's like, oh my gosh, you're an idiot. But at that time, it was like these weird sensations on the left side, feeling it, shortness of breath. And I was like, but I'm just walking the dog. And it was really weird. And I took some deep breaths. It went away, and I was fine. And I went to my doctor, and I talked. They did a stress test on me, and I passed the stress test, and they said something about my heart being small, needed to stretch it, do more exercise. I'm like, I pretty much
your heart. Wow. I didn't know that was a thing.
Well, he doesn't work there anymore, so that's probably a reason why. So I decided, okay, I'm going to do this. So I did a marathon. Never run because it hurt. My body would hurt, my joints, everything just hurt if I tried running after a while. And I couldn't understand why, because I ran in high school. But I said, I'm going to do this, but it was a ruck. So the Boston Marathon, it's an official Boston Marathon event, but because of the Boston bombing, we had to do it the day before and off the trail. And it's the full 26.2 miles, but you have a backpack. So I had 35 pounds on my back, and I did it in 7.5 miles, and it was awesome. And I stay healthy. That's what I do. And I would have these episodes again, but they'd go away, and I was like, oh. The doctor didn't seem concerned. I bring it up each year for my physical, just like, stay healthy, stay healthy. So that's what I did. So 2019, I got an Apple Watch, and I was having more episodes. So I started tracking it, and I discovered that anytime my heart rate got over 137, 140, that's when I would get these sensations. So I was just marking it down. Still, my doctor didn't seem to be too concerned. And then in October 2019, I went hiking, which is my pastime, up in the White Mountains of New Hampshire, alone. Another stupid thing. But I was like, I'm going hiking. It's like, I need to do something for myself. I just had a divorce, and I was like, I got to go have fun. So
your me time.
Yeah, me time. So I went hiking on a local trail called Middle Mountain, and I started going, and about 20 minutes into it, I got hit hard with a sensation. And it took, I remember it. I'm leaning against a tree, taking a deep breath. I was at 160 with my heartbeat. And I was like, wow. I said, maybe I should go back down and go to the doctors. No, everything subsided. And I hiked 8 more miles and I hiked 4 more days doing that.
Wow.
So
you're crazy and kind of stupid at the same time there.
Exactly. I mean,
I admire your commitment, but also question the sanity. But I know it's tough, you know.
Yeah, I know. I'm getting better now at learning the signs. So we fast forward then to November, and I go in for my checkup, and I sit down, and I'm just having a cleaning, and Dr. Malipati puts the cuff on me, and I have a 130/85 blood pressure. And she goes, "That's high for you." It's not high, but it's high for you. And I said, yeah. She goes, maybe it's wrong. We did it again. No, it was the same thing. So we're like, maybe there's something to get checked out. Now, mind you, later on during that cleaning, I fell asleep in the chair. I fall asleep. I'm so relaxed. So there's not even a stress.
I like patients like you. You love the dentist. That's great.
I love it. I feel good after that. So I ended up going and checking in with the doctor. So listen, I need to have this out. So they did an EKG. They said there's something about an inverted T wave. We want to have you go to the main hospital called Main Med, go to the ER and do some more tests. Now, again, as you know, hiking mountains with these things, I'm still not even registering that there's a serious problem. I'm like, yeah, I'll go to the Main Med. I just figured that's what you do. You go to the ER when you don't have a scheduled appointment for something, and they just check you in. Well, I was surprised. When I got there, they whisked me away into a wheelchair, threw me on a table, stripped me down, put a patch, AED patch on me, nitroglycerin under the tongue, and I was like, what's going on? So the next 3 days of tests turned out after I did all of the CAT scan. I had the up through the groin, and I can't remember. I lose the type of that test where they have to go and they put dye in my heart to see what's going on. All of that still showed a pretty positive, but what they discovered was that I have a bicuspid aortic valve, which is actually not uncommon that people have it. It's just a genetic defect. However, mine had stopped opening and closing, and it was like spurting like a hose and pushing through. So all the exercise I was doing was actually thickening the lower chamber of my heart to push the blood through that. So I was actually killing myself by trying to be healthy. And then in that, because of the spurt, there was an aneurysm. And a week later, I had open heart surgery.
That's just, I mean, I really appreciate you authentically sharing that story in a humorous way. I know it takes a lot of courage. And also, you know, I feel like maybe you had some friend. I know I'd have a friend who didn't like to exercise. He might say to you, see, exercise is bad for you because, you know, that was like, so, I mean, what I'd like to, you know, drill into, pun intended, is your commitment of your dentist to taking your blood pressure just was really awesome because, you know, you had obviously signs from other places, but you seemed to take him or her opinion seriously. What made you go from that dental chair to that? Because you had these other episodes. Was it her concern? Was it just you said this was the time? I'm just curious.
No, I mean, I think it was the combination. It was the right timing. I mean, in all honesty, it could have just been a random BP reading. I mean, we did it twice. But the fact is that, you know, she's taken it all the time. So I already had a history that my blood pressure was always a double digit. So it really was the last little, okay, something's going on now.
And I think, you know, it's interesting. We talk a lot about marketing and sales and how to get patients to move forward and things like that. When are they ready? And I think what's really cool about what your dentist did was we oftentimes have thick heads and need to be beaten over the head with the same message, right? Save money for retirement, save money for retirement. But it just takes that one time that to make you move forward to Sell as Human by Daniel Pink. And I just think likely all those combinations from the hiking incident to this, and it was just the perfect timing to literally save your life there. So I just think that's amazing.
And I think it's connected. I mean, we talk about that, you know, the dental hygiene and it is all connected. It is your body.
Right.
And so that was, you know, that's the little string into the tack that goes through that. Okay, this is all now. It's overlapping and it's worth the attention. And I mean, seriously, when I called my doctor's office, the nurse called and it says it's 130/85. You know, that's not high. And people have anxiety when they go to the dentist. And I was like yelling. I said, no, Said, if
Yes.
you look at my chart, I'm a double digit kind of guy, and I fall asleep in my chair. So
Right.
stop it. I need to be. And so they said,
I think
okay.
that's, and it also just shows you how much you have to advocate for yourself inside the medical system. And I just think that ABC, always be consistent, always be caring. Your dentist. I hope if you could share her info. I want to send them a Nacho sweatshirt in the chat when we're done. But Rodney, I think, the message here is that dentists do amazing things inside and outside the mouth. But what your dentist did for you had nothing to do with periodontal disease, with a filling. And, I worked at a residency program for years, and, we learned many people will see their dentist and not their doctor. You say, when was your last dental visit? 6 months ago. When was your last doctor visit? I don't understand the question. So we are often the front lines of monitoring, screening, not diagnosing, not treating, but, we now dentists have become very engaged with sleep apnea, with things like that. And I just think, for new dentists, medium-age dentists, seasoned-age dentists, your story reminds us why we do what we do. And I really thank you for sharing it.
Yeah, I mean, I went in a month after my surgery, and when I was cleared, I stopped in, and they're like, hi. And I said, I just wanted to come in and talk to you about, the blood pressure thing. And it was funny because immediately she goes, I'm really sorry. I know some people don't like it, but I really believe in it. I said, I'm not here for an apology. I'm here to tell you, you saved my life. And I told her, and she was like, oh my gosh. But I found it interesting that she went into the defense that people were upset about that.
I mean, I was just sharing that dentists, and we'll bring Maya and Dylan back up in a second, but, being able to handle conflict as a dentist is the key to success, because it's conflict, right? I want to take your blood pressure. I don't want it taken. I know you don't want it. It would be weird if you came in and said you did want it, but we got to do this together anyway. And I just think dental school needs the boldness to do that. So